Hey guys, welcome back to the vlog. Today it is an exciting one. It is a celebratory one because if you missed last episode, we got our invite. We went down to Rochester, we saw our friends. I brought Pure Mitsurugi after only playing it for a singular locals, and I really think that speaks to the strength of the deck, but I really enjoy the deck and it's now a contender for what we bring to Nats. That's the large new goal on the table, that is the new journey. We have some cards in here, which we're going to open today. This is another option for another deck that I might bring to Nats, but we will rip this open. We'll talk about Mitsurugi and then we'll also talk about Secret Option C, which is the other deck we might bring. But let's start here and let's talk about it. Now we've been opening cards for a while for this deck. However, I believe there are some surprises in here too. Said surprises are techs, including Salesman. I've seen this in quite a few lists as of late. Typically, I think people are calling Droll with it, but definitely a versatile card. We also have Lunalight. More Lunalight. That's a second Leo Dancer. I think you play two. We have Panther Dancer, Fusion, Fractal, unofficial Lunalight, but good card. I know initially a lot of people are playing one. I've seen some lists with three, so I might need to pick up two more, but we have Tiger, Tanky, Perfume, and a card I'm a little ashamed to show you, to be honest. It's definitely a Villain Arc card, and I don't know that we will go on said Villain Arc, but thought we'd get it just in case. Now, it's worth noting that the deck does get its additional support, I think 2 weeks before Nats, so we would have minimal testing with the deck. However, we did just take Mitsu to Regionals with minimal testing, and that went pretty well. Though, we do have another option, Secret Option C, and we are going to grab that as well. So, let's talk about all of them. Now, you guys are gonna laugh at me, and I acknowledge that. However, I do miss the Blue Eyes deck. And I do think it has some merit to it, and that merit isn't just QCRs, though they definitely help. This deck is a deck that isn't really hindered by a lot of the main hand traps that people are playing right now, in the way that Mitsu, Raizio Mitsu, all of those decks are. So maybe we give this a try. Now, another reason I am still considering this deck is Emery went to the France Nationals and he got top 8 with Blue Eyes. It's worth noting that Emery is a world champion. He's a lot better at the deck than I am. He will time his interrupts at significantly more efficient points. However, I do think it gives credence to the fact that there is room for Blue Eyes at those top tables, and I love this deck. I know I'm going to have a really hard time putting it down long term. I think even when we are drawing those big vanillas, I'm still looking at them and I'm thinking, you know what? That's one of the boys. We've been together for a long time. I'm happy to see you, and I would like to see them for a little bit longer. So I think we'll give this deck another try. We'll go off Emery's list, which I do have here, and I will put on the screen for you to see a little bit bigger. But I don't know what we're bringing to Nationals. I don't know what we're bringing to Locals this week. It's definitely here on the table though, and we'll just do a lot of testing. We'll have some fun. We'll see our friends. We will go to a Locals this vlog, but at this point we're still just figuring it out.
Embodied within that hope is the fundamental belief in the potential of every person to be a force for good. That's what you can bring.
Good morning, welcome back to the vlog. It is a Locals day, and I've been putting a lot of thought into what I want to bring to Locals because at this point, every Locals is essentially a Nats testing day. I know, I acknowledge, I recognize that Mitsu is the strongest engine. However, I think today we are bringing Blue Eyes, and we're doing so because I just feel like non-engine is really bad into it right now. If people are playing Fuas or Pulias or Drolls, they're just not doing a lot to this deck. Our opponents also aren't going to be able to drop Nib on us because we're just not going to play into it. So I think it has a chance from that perspective. Again, Emery did great with the deck. We do have his list here, though I'm lending a couple of Purges to a friend, so we don't have those for this Locals. Instead, I'm going to be trying Magnamut. I am a big believer in Bystios this format. I think that they are are pretty fantastic. The deck does do well. We'll continue trying Blue Eyes. If it doesn't, then we'll switch to Pure Mitsu or again, maybe Lunalight. But I am really looking forward to this. I am going to lay out the side deck for you, just so you can see what we're working with as a whole. Now for the side, we have 3 Droll for Mitsu and Ryzeal. Similarly, Ultimate Slayer for Detonator, because that's just really hard to hit with Blue Eyes. We have 3 Solemns to swap out our Mulch armies, 3 Lancias because they live forever in the side deck now, and maybe a questionable card, Imperial Iron Wall. We'll talk about this one. Okay, so let's address the elephant in the room. This probably isn't the most ideal card into Malice. It would be Malice if we had it. That's what Emery's playing, but I don't have it. And I've been trying Chaos Hunter, though admittedly, I don't think I've ever won a game where I summoned Chaos Hunter. I was talking to my friend Chris about it at Locals last week, and he was mentioning that post-support, Malice has a lot of ways to get over it. You could either use the secret effect to swap attack and defense, or just climb into something that's bigger. So this card, it's not a card you can use going second, but it is a card going first. That's pretty incredible. Probably not correct, but we're gonna try it. As far as the extra deck, I'm not doing anything too unique, but we are trying for the first time the Snake Eyes Vengeance Dragon. This card is something you make with your Nibiru to out the Nibiru token, which can be a little difficult for Blue Eyes. Saw a couple people doing this, including Emery and the fellow I played against at the Rochester Regionals. But that is the deck, the extra. I'm really excited to give this a try yet again, and we'll see how it goes. Also, it's an exciting day because I get to share with you something we've been working on for a little while in the background. We have one more package to open. We're going to do so at 401, and then we're going to play Blue Eyes. But yeah, I'm not going to give you any spoilers because you'll see in a minute, thanks to the magic of editing. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. I'm really proud of where we've come as a channel together, and let's get packed up. Let's have some fun.
Wait,
Act natural.
Ooh, act natural. Oh. I can confirm this. Nope.
Hello, hello. We're about to get a very fun package from Xavier.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I hear we have a fun package. Ooh. Well, Xavier, I have big news. Because we are now co-workers, kind of, sort of.
Oh my god, we gotta show them massive t-shirts.
Oh, this is gonna be so cute.
Whoa, what is this?
Something to read? Fun. All right, so we have an exciting announcement and a big box. Now, why would I be holding a shirt? Why would we have a mat? Amongst other things, we are officially sponsored by 401, and you guys can use Ruggles 5 to save 5% off your singles, which is really cool. 401 has been really, really wonderful. Oh, that would actually be pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
Perfect for summer.
It's a zip too. That's pretty cool. We got the subtle 401 look.
Do you like my shirt?
Now, when you buy your Orcus deck, you can use code Ruggles5.
I won't even use my staff discount. I'll use code I might have to pay more, but that's okay.
Thank you for supporting the channel.
I'm almost tempted to play Blue Eyes today.
Very interesting timing, Jonathan.
Are you playing Blue Eyes again today?
I am. Yeah. Hey. Been a little while.
Yeah, I don't work Tuesdays anymore.
And also just want to say big thank you to Jem for getting the sponsorship started back when he was at 401. I feel like he made a lot of effort there, and I still really appreciate it. I still really miss him. I also really appreciate all of you for supporting the channel, making this happen. This isn't just a win for me, it's a win for us, and I will always appreciate this.
And soon you get the new Sky Striker cards.
Oh, I can't wait. It's, I'm actually thinking of bringing this to Mass, but
Really?
we'll see. Yeah, now
So match 1 is against Chi, who again I look at as a very talented player. He actually topped both of the last Toronto Regionals with Malice, and we are luckily going first. So we have a nice hand. We open both engines and called by. It's pretty ideal. I start with a normal of the barrel. Its effect resolves. We are setting a lordly load, and then we are activating it to add a drill beam from deck to hand. From there, we send the Maiden from hand to grave to activate a True Light from deck, and we proceed to use it to set a Wishes from deck as well. Now, Wishes is activated. We are discarding the drill beam we just searched, and we are adding both a Sage and a Majesty to hand. Now, we activate the drill beam engraved to reset itself, as we did keep the barrel on board, and now that we'll no longer need it, we are linking the barrel into a Spirit. Spirit lets us dig in the deck for the Mausoleum, which we are activating. Mausoleum now targets the Spirit, we send a Blue Eyes from deck to grave, and I'm beyond surprised we've gotten this far. That said, we play on, Spirit tributes itself, and we special Blue Eyes White Dragon from the grave. I opt not to use the Maiden, just in case we get nibbed. Now we use our extra normal summon on the Sage, which activates its effect, and we search out the Effect Veiler from deck. Now we link the Sage and the second Spirit Dragon to provide us with a second dragon, so we can use the two bodies, make them into a Seals. To finish things off, we are setting the Majesty, setting the called by, and we're passing back. In draw phase, I activate True Light to special back the Blue Eyes, and it gets hit with the Impulse. Then he proceeds to activate an Allure, I let it resolve, he draws 2, then he banishes a Wizard. So the starters are nowhere to be found. Classic Malice. Imperm is then activated, targeting the Seals. I chain it to bounce the Lordly Load on the field, so we do get the effect to special. He, however, has an Ash Blossom. Luckily, we have the called by, so the Seals is resolving. We are summoning the big anime classic, and Maiden is then activated as well. We are bringing her back to Chi, then drops the Malice in the underground he's been holding, and I activate the Drill Beam, which I've been holding for specifically that card. From there, he is passing back. I draw onto a second Fulos. Barrel returns the hand in the standby, and we keep things simple by synchroing both monsters into a Spirit Dragon. I enter the battle phase and attempt to go for game, as we can use Spirit to tag into the Ancient Fairy and then use True Light to special back a Blue Eyes. However, he sees it coming, and after we swing with the Spirit, I attribute it, and he hits it with yet another Impulse. Now we pivot. I use True Light to special the Blue Eyes back. This triggers the Maiden, and we swing in for 3k. So no win just yet, but in the main phase 2, we are synchroing into the second Spirit Dragon. Then we use the first normal summon on a barrel, which sets a Lordly Load from deck, and we use the Drill Beam engraved to reset itself yet again. Lordly Load is then activated. I thin a barrel out of deck, and Lordly Load uses its other effect to special a Blue Eyes. Now, I link the barrel and the Blue Eyes into a second Seals, and we're passing back with a pretty strong board. Chi draws and notes. We're going to game 2. So we got the first one, we got very lucky there. Jumping into game 2, I draw a Nib, which when paired is great, however, alone, it doesn't do much. He activates an Allure of Darkness and banishes a Chessie Cat, which of course uses its effect to special itself back to the field. Now Chessie banishes a White Rabbit, he draws 2, and Rabbit is specialed back, setting an MTP 07 from deck. Next he's linking a Splash Mage, bringing back Chessie, and linking both monsters into Red Ransom, which is grabbing him a Malice in the mirror. Now this is his 5th summon, however, he has MTP 07 Underground in hand, and regardless of where we drop this thing, he is getting to the full board, so we are going to the all-important game 3. Here I draw a decent hand, however, I get hit with both a Fua and more importantly, a Phantasme, which was kind of a brilliant tech. It made my already weak targeting hand traps in hand even weaker, like that of Valor and Imperm. I think Phantasme was the card that did get Chi the definitive victory here, and after he did spend a good 10 minutes talking to me about how in the future I could attempt to play around Phantasme, ultimately noting that there wasn't a line for me to win that game. However, it was just really, really valuable, and I really appreciate Chi for always taking the time after the matches to teach me as much as he does. Also just like very humble guy. I feel like he is consistently doing very, very well at tournaments with the deck, and he's just a really humble dude. So big shout out to Chi.
I heard the explanation happening. But how Phantasma is the most broken card in Yugioh.
Okay, so round 1, tough but fun. Chi is an incredible player. He topped the last 2 Toronto Regionals. I think he got 2nd and 3rd place back to back, so not gonna sweat that one, and we're gonna have the next.
Ruggles is going to go to
Brother, you just make me look so small every time. How do you do it?
I'm not even doing anything.
No, I know. That's what's crazy. Come into the locals with the gym bag.
Yeah, I know.
That's how you know you're a real one.
For those that want to lift, make sure you eat a lot of food, eat your chicken and fish.
Protein first.
Protein first.
Now, match 2, we had a shot of redemption against Malice, and we did win the dice roll, but we did open 2 bricks. So I start with my only play, which is firing off Maiden to activate True Light from hand. True Light then uses its effect to set a wishes from deck, and we're activating it, discarding our Blue Eyes White Dragon for cost and searching both a Sage along with a Majesty from deck. Now, we normal summon the Sage and use its effect to search out our Veiler. From there, we'll see just how far we can get by linking the Sage into the Spirit, and Spirit uses its effect to grab the Field spell, which we are of course activating. Next, I trigger the Spirit to attempt to special back a Blue Eyes, and he hits me with yet again a strong Impulse. That card is crazy. That said, we don't have a way to extend, so I am setting the Majesty, the Called By, and we are passing back. He draws and activates a Terraforming, which he searches a Malice and Underground with. Underground then hits the board, and I respond with the Majesty, as that card is just too good to let resolve. He then sets a back row, potentially a bluff, and normal summons a Dormouse, which I Veiler, and well, we get lucky. Now he links the Dormouse into a Lingaribo and enters the battle phase with the little guy. I then use True Light to special back a Blue Eyes and a Maiden with it, because, a friendly reminder, Lingaribo negates the activation of a trap card, not the activation of the effect of a trap card. And with that, Lingaribo declares an attack on the Maiden. Maiden uses its effect to special back the Sage from grave, and the Maiden is destroyed by battle. Now, he's passing back, we're drawing into a Lordly Load, and we're firing it off to grab an Ether Barrel from deck to hand. Barrel is then summoned, I activate the effect, and he chains a Mirror to negate. White Rabbit is then banished from hand, he pays 300, and Rabbit is special back to the board. The Rabbit is setting an 07 from the deck, and now in an open game state, I synchro both the Sage and the Blue Eyes into a Spirit Dragon and use the True Light to special back the Blue Eyes from the grave, which triggers the Maiden as well for the free body. Now, we banish the wishes to equip a Neo Blue Eyes and contact into a Tyrant. We're not done though. Mausoleum's effect is then used, and we are targeting the Maiden. Maiden is chaining to special the Blue Eyes back from grave yet again, and a Blue Eyes is sent from the deck to the grave as well. From here, we're synchroing into the second Spirit Dragon using the Blue Eyes and the Maiden. The writing is on the wall, and we are moving to the game 2. As per usual, we have a good time chatting, and that's one thing I feel like I really appreciate about our local community. Despite the fact that it's a lot of very good players, when you sit down and play, you do feel like you are playing a game. It doesn't feel like this hyper serious situation, and I really appreciate how chill everybody is. That said, we are jumping into the next one. We are drawing a Hand Trap to pair with the Nib, and we are feeling good. He begins by setting 1, setting 2, and well, passing back Malice. It's a pretty bricky deck. I am normal summoning a Sage and using its effect to add me a Maiden, and then I proceed to link it into the Spirit, which we are of course getting impaired on. It's fine though, we do have the Maiden, we are sending it, and we get hit by Called By, which is incredibly strong here. Now, I could use the Sage in hand to send my Spirit and special Blue Eyes, however, I value the follow-up a little bit more, so we are just swinging for 300, we are setting a True Light in the back row, and we're passing back. Though in the end phase, a Bystial does target the Sage, and it specials itself to his board. He then draws, sets a card in the back row, and summons a March Hare from hand, not the Malice you want to see. Then the battle is entered, March is swinging into the Spirit, Druisworm swings in direct for 2500, and he links the Hare into a Lingaribo, which is actually quite strong now, as the True Light is stuck face down. I then draw for turn into Bell, and we enter the main phase where we are normal summoning the Sage into a Solemn. So all we can do from here is pass back. He goes to activate the GWC, I chain the Bell we drew, and we are keeping this in a very simple game state. A card is then drawn for turn, a backup is normal summoned, I finally get to activate the Ash from hand. Both the Lingaribo and the backup are then linked to a Splash Mage, and the Mage uses its effect to special back a March Hare. The Link climb continues as he goes into a red Ransom. Ransom searches an Underground from deck, he activates it and uses it to banish the Dormouse, which is then specialed back. Though, this is the 5th summon, he is out of cards at hand, and we are dropping the Rock. which is actually incredibly impactful here. The Druid Worm deals with our nib, but honestly, that's just fine. I'm pumped to stop the push. Also, the Linger Evo is now gone, so we can activate the True Light in the end phase and use it to set a wishes from our deck, ensuring we actually have a play. Maiden is then drawn for turn, he is without disruptions, and we are firing off the wishes, discarding the Blue Eyes for cost, and searching both the Sage and a Roar from deck to hand. Sage is then normal summoned, we're searching a Veiler, and we link the Sage and the Spirit from the extra deck. Spirit adds us the Field Spell, which we are of course activating. I use my extra normal summoned to summon the Maiden from hand, then we target the Maiden with our Mausoleum to trigger its effect to special back a Blue Eyes from grave. Mausoleum then resolves, sending a second Blue Eyes, and we synchro our bodies into the big Spirit Dragon. Then we are attributing the little Spirit Dragon to bring back the big Blue Eyes, and we're bringing back the Maiden. From here, we make our second Spirit Dragon in attack mode, then we activate the Roar from hand to special Blue Eyes from grave. Wishes is then banished from grave, Neo is equipped, we contact into the Tyrant Dragon for yet another big body, we go to battle, Spirit runs over the smaller token, Spirit swings directly, Tyrant swings directly, and we use True Light to special back a Blue Eyes from grave, which takes us the match and the redemption arc against Malice. So I'm honestly I'm very happy about this one. I felt like it was a very silly, funny game. I think the entirety of it, we were both just laughing at the absurdity of our draws and the game states. But I have to say, that one was just really, really fun. That said, we are still on the locals. We just need to keep winning, and prizing is still on the table.
Okay, so we were actually able to get the second one, Redemption Arc against Malice, and it's feeling good to play Blue Eyes again. It's one of those decks that's just never gonna feel old, so jumping back into it. Now, our last match was quite a ceremonial one, as we are playing against Lux, who also started playing when I did, and is now, unfortunately, moving over to the UK. It's his final week with us, and I'll be honest, I'm really, really gonna miss him. I feel like we essentially relearned the game together. We had all of those kind of silly, fun chats one does in the beginning, like, is this for cost? What resolves first? It's the fundamentals, it's the basics, and because of that, I think learning together just made it a very comfortable, warm, often funny experience. We also bonded over our mutual love for drawing, both having Greek girlfriends, Smallville, and other stuff that just makes us real people outside of cards. So we had one final match. It was with Chimera Fiendsmith. I was on Blue Eyes, which was pretty reflective of the past. It was a hard, well-fought match, a sentimental one, and one that I feel like showed a lot of growth from both of us and our ability to play this game. In the end, we did win some prizing, but like, not to be too corny, but I feel like the real prize here was having a chance to sit down and play cards with my friend, who I really am going to miss. We need you. Very important.
I'm scared.
Very important. Which one? We've got the hot hands. Do we have a March Hare? Do we have a QCR? I think we see a super, but that's okay. That's all right, because that pack, that's the good one. I believe. Oh, you know what? I love Eldritch. Thank you. Thank you. No, we'll take that. We'll take that.
Let us know if you got something good.
Yes, sir. Okay, first week back with Blue Eyes. We're doing pretty well. Lux, it is your last week here, and I need your last week luck. You got to pick one. You got to open it.
Sorry, y'all.
Pull me something nice. You got it. You got it.
Monster.
It's a monster. Is it a March Hare?
1,000.
No, it's not March Hare.
Okay. Oh, okay.
It's like a spirit animal for me.
Okay, then you're gonna take this one all the way over to. You do have to play Dragon Rulers now. Yeah. Whoa! Look at that jacket.
I got it at 401 Games.
All right. Another good week in the books.
from the live-action movie Lunalight.
So that's 1 month. Do you know what you're playing?
Yes.
What is it?
I'm playing Pure Mitsurugi, maybe Fiendsmith additionally. Shout out Steven Tripanovsky.
He was right.
But we'll see how bricky it is.
I'll literally just
I'm playing 60 cards. I'm not playing 60 cards.
You'll draw the bricks less.
Sure.
Okay, so it's a big week. It's a sad week. We got our boy Lux over here who's flying to a brand new country to play Plant Link, as you all do. You'll do great. I'm gonna be annoying. Can I be annoying? Can I be annoying?
Yeah.
Okay, so I started coming here a couple months ago, and was just like me, in that Lux was reading some cards, and he was being patient, and he was being understanding, and it felt really good because it was like, Lux will win a game, and I'll win a game, and Lux will win a game, and I'll win a game. And we had this like really good back and forth. We learned how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Specifically Lux and I together.
Misplay Kings.
Misplay Kings. We are the Misplay Kings. But today, we played a match of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I don't think we misplayed.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's program.
We're now just about 6 months into returning to the game. I'm still lost with a lot of the deeper rulings, but I feel like we are figuring things out. We're getting better, and that's big with Nationals just right around the corner. Though I say this all the time, but it always comes from the heart. The real highlight thus far has been meeting just handfuls of new friends and moments like these, because when I think about Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't really think of specific games, plays, or texts. I think about the little memories. I think about talking patio furniture with Tom. I think about talking Smallville with Lux, Halo with Matthew, working out with Triff, road trips with Kevin, music with Dorian, film with Gabe, pizza nights with Brandon, Ryan, Gannon, Mario. Lots of little moments, all of which make this hobby special, all of which I hope you hold on to too. As per usual, I hope you enjoy the vlog. I hope it rendered some smiles. I hope it made you happy. I'll see you next week with a new one. And again, if you had a friend who used to play the game and you want to get them back in, consider sending them a vlog. Let's continue building this incredible community together. And again, guys, as always, peace and love.